Josh, welcome to the Dunedin Stories.
Kia ora, Rebecca. Thank you for having me.
So lovely to have you here. And I think the first thing we should say is your t-shirt speaks to the organisation you're representing, but do you want to let the community know who you are in that organisation?
Absolutely. Kia ora, I'm Josh, and I am the founder of QGO. QGO is a lighting and audio-visual company. So what we do is install and hire out a whole bunch of lights and speakers and screens and projectors, basically anything you need for any event. We work for some pretty big clients. As of recently, we've done some work for the university and the Otago Polytechnic, which has been super exciting. We've installed a full new lighting rig in one of the university's lecture theatres. So yeah, that's what I do. Loving it. We've been going for just under 2 years now, and thriving. Yeah.
Brilliant. So is it 2 years since I met you at that startup?
That would have been a year ago. Yeah.
1 year ago.
Yeah.
Audacious.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fabulous. And you've come a long way in that year.
It's been a crazy journey. Yep.
Yeah.
So since Audacious, we've launched a full new wing of our company that focuses on retailing and actually installing these goods permanently. So we've moved away from some of the hire and rental side and gone more into actually representing all of these brands, because there seemed to be a real lack of that in the Lower South Island here. So we thought, why not help out and do that part?
Yeah. So there is a sense of an accent going on there, Josh. I don't think you're a Dunedin native. Would you like to let us know what your journey is to end up here in Dunedin?
Absolutely. So I'm Dutch, and I emigrated to New Zealand when I was 12. We hovered around Auckland for a bit and realised that was not the fit. And then myself and the rest of the family went to the Wairarapa, where I went to high school and spent about 5 years, and then came to Dunedin for university. And I've been here for 3 years now, and it's been absolutely awesome. I love it here.
It's great.
Yeah.
So what was it that attracted you to come to Otago University, Josh?
I think it was a combination of factors, but the main one was that Otago University just had the vibe, like it just had the vibe of student city, and I'm not necessarily a massive party animal, but even just like the heritage buildings all around Dunedin and just the community atmosphere, you just pick up on as soon as you enter the city. Like, I had never been to Dunedin before the open day. And I walked into Dunedin and it was just like, this is it. Like, I'm set. I did the exact same open days for Vic and for UC, and it just didn't have the same vibe. Dunedin was just,
we need to bottle that vibe
Absolutely.
somehow, don't we?
Yeah.
Hey, there's another startup idea.
Bottling Dunedin's vibe, absolutely, yes.
Look, that's really cool to hear, and I'm obviously a Dunedin girl, born and bred, and to hear your journey, international one, and to travel around New Zealand and to know that Dunedin really is a special place, I think it's really cool. You've no doubt realised that the city, the size it is, also makes it an incredible testing ground for new businesses and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. And I think like the support network that Dunedin offers for entrepreneurs and new startups is just incredible. Like, I don't think I've heard any other region do it as well as Dunedin. And in fact, StartUp Dunedin won a recent award at
local government.
A whole bunch of levels, and that just shows like the overwhelming support that Dunedin offers for new startups and young businesses. It's an awesome testing ground.
Shout out to StartUp Dunedin.
Absolute shout out to StartUp Dunedin. Yeah, Grace, Rachel, and Kenzie, absolute legends. Yeah.
And look, it's not all roses, of course. You'll know yourself, having been through that journey of Audacious and the process that you go through. Do you want to talk about that process that you went through to create QGO and what some of the lessons were, perhaps?
Absolutely, 100%. So, when I started in 2023, it was kind of started originally as just a student wanting to make a little extra buck on the side. I'd done lighting design for a wee while, but I thought, okay, I'll just buy my own lighting console and give it a go. Why not just do some subcontracting? So I started out with this one piece of equipment, and all of a sudden I get calls from theatre groups, and they're like, "Hey, do you do some lights as well?" And I was like, "I can do some lights. How much do you need?" And they gave me a list, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot. Sure, I can give it a go."
Need some capital investment.
Need some capital investment. So
Yeah.
ended up sub-hiring a whole bunch of goods from the other local companies, which, by the way, are amazing. Massive shout out to Strawberry Sound, Southern Lights, and Gravity Events. All three of those companies are just awesome at providing the atmosphere to the city.
Great people.
Absolutely great people. And so sub-hired a few goods from them as I started to raise my own capital. Service-based businesses, it's tricky to get funding from anyone. So I had to bootstrap it. And slowly started accumulating more assets, and then went through the audacious process at the start of 2024. That was a real eye-opener and a great place to connect with some of the other founders. It was awesome to do some of the theoretical learning work with StartUp Dunedin as well, because there was obviously a lot of practical work that had gone in.
Would have been almost retrospective for you, I think.
Absolutely.
You were well down the track. And
I was well down the track.
If only I'd known that on the second week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that first half a year that I started was experimental, to say the least. Yeah.
That's right.
But, got to start somehow. Through the audacious process, got to present to you, actually.
You did. I remember it vividly.
Yeah, it was awesome. And got to present to the rest of the cohort and some of their friends at that presentation night, which was great. It was my first time pitching a business. So again, just great experiences.
Never would have thought it was your first time.
Really?
No. Sharp as.
Thank you.
Yeah. You brought props with you.
I did,
you know, that was that whole other level of somebody that definitely knows what they're doing.
What better statement to make than to light the actual event, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then got accepted into the StartUp Dunedin Distiller incubator, and that's been really good to work with Pete Lead, even though he's remote, just to kind of work through some of the more tricky and complex problems. We've recently undergone merger talks, and so Pete's been an absolute legend in facilitating that as well and helping me out with that. So
him being in Melbourne makes the weather waffle talk a little bit more interesting as well. Remember, it does. It was 45 degrees last time in Melbourne when I was on Zoom with him.
Yeah, he seems to have a very wide spectrum, but he seems to either be on the very hot or very cold side of things. There is no in between in Melbourne, I believe.
No, but very wise person.
Absolutely.
Highly experienced. And proving that you can be anywhere and support organisations anywhere as well. So
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And then we got to halfway through 2024, just after that audacious pitch, and the university reached out and were like, "Hey, do you sell some of these things?" And we were like, yeah, sure. At this point, I had no contacts with distributors at all. So that was a complete wild card. And they said, okay, well,
but
if you can...
okay, university, you're building great entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. They said, if you can build us a web store so that we can have a catalogue in the next 48 hours, that would be amazing.
Okay.
So that was
we can white label something maybe that's existing already.
Nope, we built it from the ground up.
Did.
500 products in under 48 hours. It was a task, but I think that actually was a great team bonding activity for the entire Hugo crew.
Basically, you did a startup weekend.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. Just rapid fire product launches. It was great. But we got it all done in those 48 hours and headed to the university. And since then we were like, well, what's the harm in taking or keeping the web store up? We might as well keep it there. So we did, and we got more and more inquiries throughout the South Island and then through the North Island, and signed on more and more deals with new distributors, which has just been, awesome.
Is it a tough environment? Like, I can speak from Firebrand's perspective. You know,
Yep.
the economy has made business pretty hard. This year's not as hard as last year, but it's still not easy. You know,
Yeah.
how is your industry faring?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we're on a pretty similar side of things there. The events industry is definitely taking a hit after COVID. Really, it's started to pick up a little bit this year, but particularly last year, and that was also part of the reason why we decided to continue with the retailing side of things, was because the rental side was just slow. It was really hard to try and get artists to pay for quality solutions when they themselves weren't able to pay themselves half the time. And so, yeah, I think it's starting to pick up again, and I'd love to see events skyrocket because it's such a crucial part of keeping a city and an entire country just lively.
Socially active and
socially
connected and all of those things.
Absolutely.
Instead of the opposite of that. And the industry itself, because of COVID, you know, we are seeing or have seen a transition to online, and now we're definitely seeing a whole lot more hybrid events, meetings, experiences.
Yep.
This is where awesome young, entrepreneurial, open to change, non-traditional organisation like yours is kind of at the sweet spot, isn't it?
100%. So we invested into some live streaming equipment when we were about halfway through, so last year, and that actually made a huge difference. The demand for camera hire was insane, and I think that's got to do with that whole hybrid situation, right? Like a lot of people are conferencing online, but you still have to make that conference look awesome. Otherwise, it's just a Teams meeting, right?
Yeah, I liken it to the physical retail experience and the transition to e-commerce, and how a person expects it to be seamless and feel like totally on brand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
And that's actually an interesting topic to bring up because our retailing side of things, we don't have a physical retail store. Obviously, some of these products go into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth just for a single item. So not possible to hold much stock of that. We do of just like the basics. But I think because we've worked out recently, we're the first company to do this in New Zealand with these distributors, is a more drop shipping focused type of system. So they hold most of the stock. And we just have a great relationship with those distributors, especially based in Dunedin. You know, that's allowed us to stay in Dunedin. Is the fact that our distributors are able to send things from the North Island to basically anywhere in the country, and we don't have to ship it to Dunedin first to then ship it back up to Auckland. You know,
now you are a brand and a marketing platform and a trusted relationship connector and somebody that your clients will fall back on. So you're sort of taking responsibility for that, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yep. And I think that's where the installing side of things come in. It's mainly our expertise. You can get the products anywhere really, but the expertise of installing it into a venue and having it sound and look good, I think is crucial. And that's what our clients trust the most. So.
A question that I like to ask, and it's not a segue at all, but it's very relatable, I suppose, to your industry. Who's a legend from Dunedin that you perhaps would invite to an event that we could hold here in Dunedin that you'd find attractive or interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to meet up for a coffee with Ian Taylor.
I think that's the second or third shout out for
really?
Sir Ian Taylor.
Yes, Sir Ian Taylor. If you are around, please feel free to. I'll send you a DM. I would love to catch up for a coffee.
Well, funnily enough, physically, he's right next door, Josh.
Oh, really?
Oh, I don't know if he's there right now, but and what an amazing advocate, ambassador and cheerleader for Ōtepoti Dunedin.
100%.
Such a wonderful story in the presence and
a brilliant mind.
Brilliant mind. Oh, he'll love to hear that as well. Shout out.
Shout out.
Sir Ian
Absolutely.
Taylor and his
Yes.
brilliant mind.
Massive fan.
Okay, well, I think you have the capability to organise an event that would attract Sir Ian Taylor to be the lead on it.
True. Yeah. I guess we could. Yeah. I might have to give that a go. Yeah. Thank you for the tip.
That's all right. So we've talked about how you got there. We've talked about the challenges and who was supportive and things. What's the future? What's the next step for Hugo? I know already, of course. And I did say, well, we shouldn't be having this, Ben, but that's not true. What's in the pipeline?
The next step for Hugo is we're expanding up north. So we're starting a new branch in Palmerston North. And this will kind of help us to just connect the North and the South Island a little bit. We'll still have most of our operational side of things going through Dunedin. And my business partner, Abby, will be staying in Dunedin here. I'll be back reasonably frequently. But yeah, we're expanding to Palmerston North, and that'll be exciting. We've merged recently with Gravity Events, our rental side of the business. So we're continuing to do the retail and installation. And in a way, that's actually helped us to focus that a little bit more rather than the massively broad range of services that we were doing just before. Now we can actually focus on just this one thing and make it perfect. So, yeah, exciting plans. Lots of moving around, but it'll be good. And it'll be good fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's, well, you're certainly someone to watch because there's another side hustle that's being planned when you get to Palmerston
There sure
North.
is, yep.
Yeah.
So we're starting a laser tag and entertainment system there, business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So we're taking over from an existing business that's there, but just completely spicing it up, making it cool, making
Plus,
it
you're
the
yet
hub.
to graduate.
I am, yes.
Yeah.
So many things going on.
Yeah,
I know.
you've got a lot going on.
Yeah. Yep. So I've got a year left, I think, and then I'll be all finished. I am moving my study to part time. It is getting a bit full on, and I think it's important. And recently, I've looked a lot more into this, is for founders to look after themselves as well, because there is a lot going on in your life. So to also do
always more to do.
Absolutely,
in a founder's life.
Yeah.
It's never downtime.
No, it's never I'll set up a business and then leave.
No.
No. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to just move that part time and to look after myself a little bit as well. Make sure I'm good to go for the long run.
Well, I'm excited to keep watching from Otipoti and up to Palmerston North. And we did touch on whether you would be open to doing below the surface. Rather than ask all those other little questions, this is a good way for us to really get to know the Josh that's here.
Sounds great.
So great conversation and connection cards that were created here in New Zealand. And we're going to start with level 1.
Woohoo.
And this is random, totally random. Josh, what are 3 of the most beautiful things in the world right now?
3 of the most beautiful things in the world right now. I think innovators is definitely one of them, and it's a broad one, but it's one of them. It's inspiring to see that amongst all of the other troubles that the world is facing, there are still plenty of people that are trying to make it better, and especially in the way of climate change. There are so many innovators working around the clock to try and make things better for the rest of us.
I love that answer so much. I don't think you need to answer 3. I think innovators is a collective term, and yeah, you're right. What a brilliant way to answer that.
It can get quite deep if you're looking at world politics all the time, and it's so sad that some of the positive stories don't get lit
Josh,
up
even
as much.
just local politics.
Even just local politics, yeah. And so, yeah, I think it's important to just keep an eye out on innovation because it restores hope in a sense.
Yeah,
just when things go negative, not all hope is lost, don't worry.
Absolutely, I get it. And I talk to Rachel about this every so often because I love being involved in StartUp Dunedin and StartUp Weekends and Audacious and the Distiller and the micro grants, because when I get that opportunity, I do then have a reset and a realisation that not everything in the world is toxic and horrible. Shall we go to level 2?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Tell us about a time when you overcame an obstacle that was in your way.
An obstacle that was in my way. We at the start of the business journey, I had made a bit of an oopsie, and took on board. Yeah, we do own those. We took on board an investor for reasonably little amount of money and a reasonably large shareholding, and so that was a reasonably big obstacle to overcome in trying to get that part of the company back. And I think starting off, it was great to have that small cash injection, but we would have made it work without it, you know. And getting it back later.
What a great lesson to learn so early.
Yeah, 100%.
And you obviously know that you are not alone, that this happens a lot.
100%. Yeah. And I thought, no, it's not that bad. But then looking back on it, it's like, wow, it is actually like...
Yeah, it can really hold back and stifle organisations, and has done. Dunedin is, absolutely there are stories and cases of it. So I'm really pleased to hear that you got through it.
Absolutely, thankfully, the guy was a nice guy. So we ended up working through it with him and ended up buying a bunch of it back. So... it all ended up working out, but about half a year in, it was kind of like a realization moment of, wow, this is actually going bigger than I thought it would. Time to get a bit conservative with shareholdings and see if we can get some back.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing that.
That's okay.
Are you up for a level 3?
100%. Anytime.
Okay.
Level up.
Oh, you're going to struggle with this, Mr. Optimistic Positive. We can pick another one if we need to. Share a moment that you are not proud of.
Share a moment I am not proud of. Okay. But there are a few, Rebecca. There's... You're right, these level cards do get trickier. I love it though. It's great. It's really... Great to think about these things. I guess at the start, like the positivity has really come quite recently. Like I have been for most of my high school life. I've been quite a positive person. But I guess the large amount of stress that comes with starting something and then actually having to look after it and realizing the overheads, it did cause me for a bit to turn. A little bit more negative than I would have liked to, I think. And I think that would have reflected onto other people as well, and the people working with me. So
I think you're very hard on yourself.
Thank you. But I think recently it's gotten better again. I've started looking after myself a little bit more. But what I'm not proud of is arguably just not doing that in the first place, and going too hard at it, there's a decent amount of work involved with the startup, as you know, and as many of the listeners will know. But I think just looking after yourself with the base level of things is just important. Recently took up cooking again. It's absolutely awesome. I love food.
Beautiful. Like proper cooking,
like
not
proper
out of a
cooking.
packet.
Not out of a packet. Not 2-minute noodles. How was that?
What's your favourite go-to recipe, Josh?
My favourite go-to recipe at the moment, it's this green pasta that I've been making. It's made with rigatoni pasta and kale and tofu. And it's a really high protein. You chuck a bunch of nuts in it as well. It's a really high protein meal. And blend the kale and the nuts and stuff together in the tofu. And it becomes this really creamy sauce. It's awesome.
I think you are definitely taking care of yourself if that's your go-to recipe. I think Mum will be very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Josh, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the community about Hugo?
I think just like in general with the events companies that are around, I I think it's important to realize that yes, there is a bit of competition going on there because there is a few companies here in Dunedin, but like
You need competition.
and also realizing that behind the scenes, it's not like we're nasty people to each other. We're quite
No.
good friends, all of us. So it's a tight knit community behind all of the closed companies' doors. So
Support them.
yeah,
Get out
support
there.
them and
Hold
don't be
events.
shy. There's nothing really that we can't help with. So even if you think your event is tiny, reach out anyway because you might be surprised as to what we can make happen.
Yeah. And how would we do that if we needed to get hold of you?
You can go to our website, www.q-go, CUE is how you spell Q, it's a lighting thing, .co.nz, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me. All of my details will be online.
Awesome.
Cool.
Josh, I'm really excited to see where you head next, although there's a little bit of me that's like, oh, Palmerston North is very lucky. But I look forward to seeing the next steps for you, Hugo, and your adventure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rebecca, and I will be back to Dunedin at some point.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Thanks.